Hello, everyone. I am Cartoon Kitsune, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. Today, I will be playing the Mirror System, specifically Aurelia, as well as her little familiar slash patron Angelique, the little shoulder angel. And with me today is.
I am Vamp, also known as Vampire, and today I will be playing the Layton's household pet cat, Sleeper.
So weird. It's a weird cat, man.
It's a weird cat. Don't worry about him too much.
It's fine. Well, speaking of worrying about this weird cat, uh, so Aurelia, she's befriended a couple of folks from the Layton household, but the thing is, she hasn't visited the house quite yet because of a certain devil living in the rafters. Because
Mm,
poor Aurelia hasn't exactly had the best history with devils, let's say. Specifically, a certain bastard who pretty much ruined her and her family's lives on multiple counts.
Nuts, nuts.
Yeah.
Prince of Courts, the motherfucker.
Hmm. But recently, she has been kind of working on kind of getting over her fear, or at least the worst of it. So she's not gonna immediately flinch or go into a panic attack the moment she sees somebody with horns. To that end, she had ended up hiring this a fellow by the name of Xavier, who is the butler for her manor, and also happens to be a tiefling. Not quite a full on devil, but plenty of devilish elements there. So she's kind of been like uh, kind of like getting used to just like being around him and like just kind of having his presence there sort of kind of helped her at least like get over the sort of reaction she usually has to like just the sight of like a devil.
Nuts, nuts.
Yeah. So basically, long story short, she's kind of doing a little bit better, and she's kind of at the point where she feels like she can at least like be around the sleeper without like having too bad a reaction, or at least she's hoping that'll be the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for
And
today, yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, so today Aurelia is coming to the house for like a haircut, right, with Leo?
Yeah, because Angelique wanted to get a haircut, kind of cut her hair a little bit shorter, and Leo offered. And of course, Aurelia gladly took this opportunity to, have an excuse to hang out with Leo. For,
Nuts.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure there's no ulterior motive, right?
not at all. It's not like she has secretly has a crush on this boy. That'd be ridiculous.
Not at all. Yep, not at all. In any case, we let's just say that when she comes to the house today,
Hmm.
the boys are out.
Yeah,
Everyone's out.
yeah,
Grocery
just for
shopping or
simplicity's sake.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, grocery shopping maybe. There's just so much goddamn soup TM in the house that
Yeah.
like they need to eat something else. In any
Hmm.
case, does Aurelia knock on the door?
I'd say so. So yeah, so we're thinking that like she probably shows up and like maybe like Leo's probably gonna come there like in a little bit or something.
Nuts, nuts.
Yeah, I think that'd be a
And
simpler way for it to. Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
And in any case, God, do I roll perception for sleeper?
Sure. Yeah, I'd probably be like a listening perception.
All right, in that case, I have physical dice for sleeper. Yeah, it's my first like ever physical set of dice.
Awesome.
I know, right? I got
Yeah.
it on sale too, so it was pretty cheap.
Oh, that's great.
Yep. I've only gotten to use them once, well, twice. So
Yeah.
it's good that this FPS is giving me another reason.
Yeah.
Do you have any physical dice?
Yeah, actually, there's this one like game store not too far from where I live. They had like this. It was neat. It's like it came in a box that looks like a mimic treasure chest, and it had like five different sets of
Ooh,
like different colored dice.
that's a 10 on the perception.
Yeah. I
I
mean, I'd
feel
say
like he'd notice, right?
yeah, it's probably enough. Like, I mean, she's not exactly trying to hide or anything. It's like just up on the door.
Right, and she does hear like footsteps coming from inside. So
Yeah.
she might initially be like, "Oh, one of the Leo or one of the boys," but
Yeah.
The footsteps sound a little weird. I don't know if
Hmm.
I don't know if she's ever been near goats or anything with hooves. Like horse.
Probably,
Just
probably horses. I was actually going to say that I think the way she got to the house is probably I think Xavier probably dropped her off. I think they would have like gotten a carriage at some point because the manor is about like I think I said about half an hour ish outside of Valestown.
that
So she
is
kind of
so fucking funny though.
yeah.
Imagining like this extravagant, like rich looking carriage pulling up in this like one random house for no reason.
Well, to be fair, I think it's probably like it's not like like a gilded like Cinderella esque like carriage or something. It's like a normal looking one.
Fair enough. In
Yeah.
any case, she would recognize that those are hooves? Question mark,
Hmm.
question mark, question mark.
Yeah.
Those are like hoof steps.
Yeah.
Like they clack instead of like tapping kind of beat. And the door opens and Aurelia sees someone's chest because Sleeper is fucking tall. He
Yeah.
like if we're counting the horns, he's like 9 feet ish.
Oh my god. So yes,
So
there. Meanwhile, there is this tiny little 5 foot tall teenager, just little girl standing in front of you. I think there's like probably the moment where like her head just like goes up, and like the camera just pans up to Sleeper's face. And Sleeper, you also note, you can probably
if
see.
you're robotic,
Yeah. Oh no! But
alright,
yes.
you're back, you're back.
Okay, good. But yeah, so yeah, Sleeper, you will be looking down on this young lady. She's got like this it's like long hair and a pair of braids, and sitting on her shoulder is this what kind of looks like a smaller version of her herself almost. But I think Angelique probably like doesn't have her hair braided; it's just kind of down and flowing, and she's got these like cute little like gray feathered wings on her back.
No, it's nice.
Yeah. Let me roll a wisdom save just to see how Aurelia reacts to this very tall fella. Let's see.
Let me just say it's a good thing that I know for a fact that Angelique is so small, otherwise I would have to roll a wisdom save.
Yeah. Oh my
For
god, that's a
reasons.
nine. Oh, honey. Oh, I think it's not as bad as it could be, but I think she definitely kind of freezes up. Like, it kind of goes quiet. She's not like full on panic attack, just kind of more the nervous, like just freezing up. Oh gosh, what do I do? What do I say? Kind of thing.
Yeah, let me roll inside to see if Sleeper notices this or if it doesn't.
Yeah.
That is a 19.
Yeah.
19 plus. Yeah, that's a 19 on the dice. Like, even without putting his modifier on it, I think he
I think that's probably
notices.
gonna get it. Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
Sleeper, this girl is more than a little bit intimidated by you. Meanwhile, I think the angel on
Mhm.
her shoulder is just like glaring daggers at you. She's literally
Yeah.
1 foot tall, but she's giving you a look like if you try anything, I will kick your ass.
Yeah. He does, like, when he sees Angelique, like, his gaze does kind of, like, stick to
Hmm.
her for a little bit, just for a moment. The reason why I'm not rolling a with save is because despite having feathered angel wings, Angelique
Hmm.
is like small.
Yeah, she is teeny
So
tiny.
yeah, and she doesn't have a halo or anything, so he's
Oh,
not
not at
actually
all.
like yeah,
Yeah,
so he's not actually twigged her as an angel.
yeah. I was
Which
gonna
he
say
isn't, but you know.
she is not. I was gonna say like, does Sleeper have like any kind of way to sense like what kind of creature like someone is that kind of thing? I don't know if you have to like
Let me
cast a
look.
spell for it or.
I mean, I could do like a flavor thing, but like mechanically, the closest thing he's got is Eldritch Sight, which lets him cast detect magic at will.
Yeah, honestly, like considering the kind of thing Sleeper is, and considering what Angelique is, I feel like he'd probably at least be able to twig that, like like there's clearly like something, there's some fiendish nature in this little angel.
Yeah, which ironically does make him relax a little bit more. In
Yeah.
any case, in any case, he kind of just like looks down at Aurelia, kind of pauses, like mentally goes through like every person he remembers the family knowing, which is like a very long list.
Hmm.
Doesn't find Aurelia on it because I don't think like they've been around like at the same time.
Yeah. Well, they've never met before, of course, and
Yeah, and they
but
don't.
like
They
yeah.
haven't been around at the same time on chat. I don't
Nope.
think.
I don't believe so, no. Which is kind of by design, because I mean, before meeting Xavier and all that, Aurelia probably wouldn't react too well to meeting him in the chat. Though then again, she's not
Yeah.
reacting too well right now. So
Yeah. So he just kind of runs through that list, doesn't find Aurelia on it, looks
mhm.
down again. Lynn's just like, "What are you? Who are you? What are you doing here?"
I think Aurelia's just kind of still staring at him like a deer in the headlights, just like, ah. Meanwhile, Angelique will pipe up and still glaring daggers at this man who is quite literally like about 8 to 9 times her height. I cannot stress this
Amazing.
enough. Uh, yeah, no, Angelique will say, "We're here to meet with Leo. Is he home
Uh,
right now?"
Unfortunately not. He left to go get groceries.
Hmm, I see.
Or something of the sort. I'm not certain.
Yeah. Let me roll another whiz save to see before we can snap out of it already.
Oh god, Aurelia have left. You can do it. We believe in you.
Yeah. I put it- Okay. Oh my god, not
Oh my
20!
god.
How fitting, the mention of Leo is what snaps her out of it.
Yeah, she hears Leo and like all the fear like flies out of her head to be replaced by like love sickness.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she just kind of like blinks a couple times, like, he's not, here? So sorry,
Yes.
I think Aurelia is still stammering away. Angelique just kind of sighs and says, uh, Leo said he was going to give me a haircut today, but if he's not here, we can, I guess, wait somewhere else. But no, Xavier already left with the carriage. God darn, what do we? It's okay. We can, I mean, I don't, want to impose. I mean, if Leo's not, here, then,
Yeah, the problem with this is that I think Sleeper would genuinely like let her wait outside if she wanted to, because
mm-hmm.
like he's not gonna force her to like be in the house with him when she's clearly uncomfortable with him.
Yeah.
So by the powers invested in me in us as like pseudo dungeon masters over this FPS, I'm making it rain.
I think the
Like
girl,
literally,
yeah, I was gonna say
literally
the girl like
right
going to
after
like,
our
yeah, like find a bench or something, sit outside, and then you just hear like the crack of thunder, and just immediately it starts drizzling.
yeah, it starts drizzling and thunder and like there's so much lightning and you're like, yeah, this sure heavy rains. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I think Ellie just kind of turns around. Like, I don't think the rain probably would have like
and
gotten bad enough like to immediately have her soaking wet, but but she's definitely kind of like looking at Sleeper with a big like just big eyes, just like um. So not to impose, but could we maybe wait inside if that's okay with you?
yeah, I think like I don't think she would have actually gotten very wet because
Oh
the
no, I think
moment
it only
the
like
rain
started
started,
drizzling. Yeah.
well, not even just that, like the moment Sleeper like noticed that it started raining, like one of his wings would have like gone out to like rotate and be like shield like Aurelia from the rain.
Aww. Oh, that's so sweet. I think Angelique sees
And
this
he just
and like tries to do the same with her wings, but they're so much smaller.
glaring at Sleeper because how fucking dare he have bigger wings.
That
In
is
any
not.
case, like yeah, in any case, he probably just sighs, looks at how hard it's probably going to start raining soon, and he just like opens the door like a little more and it's just like you might as well wait inside.
Uh, thank you. And I think really kind of like bows her head like politely, and we'll scurry on inside.
And he will close the door right as another crack of like thunder sounds.
Yeah.
And Aurelia, you're in Leonardo's house.
Yee.
How are you feeling?
I think both of them are probably pretty interested because they've never been here before. I think they're just kind of like looking around at the place.
Yeah, Sleeper does dip to like go and fetch like a towel because even though he shielded her with the wing pretty early and it didn't start like raining hard, like, it's
Mhm.
like common courtesy and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he does come back with a towel, which he does like toss to Aurelia.
Yeah. Thank you. And yeah, I think she'll kind of like pat her hair dry, give it to Angelique. She'll kind of like dry her wings off, and they'll kind of the feathers will kind of fluff up a little bit.
Mm. And I think like in the interest of not having him just choose to go back to sleep, I think he does like watch like as Angelique calls herself off, and he's just like, "So how did Leonardo get mixed up with demons?"
Well, I think both the girls kind of give him a surprised look. Says, I think Angelique is the one who pipes up with, uh, I mean, I could ask the same aim of you. I mean, you're living at his house, right?
Ah, well, yes, but he he kind of squints at like Angelique. You have a different demon signature.
I think she kind of tilts her head, like, oh, you can sense that? Well, oh, guess that makes sense. I mean, you're also
Yes.
uh, well, yeah, I am.
Mm. And kind of like Sleeper's ear flicks, and he's just like, "Dare I ask if he went to the nine hells or something?"
I think Angela just kind of like blinks a couple times, like, the what? And Aurelia will pipe up. I think that's where devils come from.
The
Oh,
ones, yes. He
oh
was
no,
about to say the ones from this world, but
yeah,
he corrected him, so he course corrected mid sentence.
probably for the best. Oh
Yeah.
no,
So sorry if
oh
I'm interrupting, by the way, Kit. You're still cutting out a little bit for me, so I'm having trouble like telling when you finish talking versus when it's your internet
now you're all
like
good.
hitting you with that.
Now we're fine. I don't think you've been talking over me that much. But yeah, I think Angelique would say, yeah, no, I've never been down there. I certainly don't want to go there if there's more devils down there. Uh,
Sleeper kind of raises an eyebrow, and it's just that you're not a you're not a hmm. Why do you have a double signature on you then?
I think the girls kind of exchange a look and they kind of say, and Aurelia will say, it's a bit of a long story. It's let's just say we've kind of well, we've encountered a devil before and it wasn't a very good experience. And trying to think of what else to say.
Okay, good. I thought you cut out again. I wasn't
No, no,
sure.
no. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I think Sleeper just kind of raises the hand and it's like, yes, that is usually the case with devils. We
Yeah.
don't really, we don't have good intentions. And he is saying this as he's fucking like searching for like a smaller like towel for Angelique.
Aw. And I think Angelique kind of says, like, kind of scoffs, like, you can say that again. I think Aurelia kind of chimes with it. No offense to you, Mr. It's Sleeper, right? That's, I think that's what Leo said your, name was.
Yes, Sleeper is correct. And no offense taken. I'm actually rather relieved that someone the boys know has a modicum of sense.
I think, more surprised blinking from the girls again. huh. I think Angelique will say, huh, that's surprisingly honest for a devil. Huh.
Mm, I don't have the energy to lie right now. And he finds like a smaller. He has to like really dig to find like
Hmm.
towels that you use to like dry your hair specifically.
Yeah.
The ones that are like a quarter the size of an actual towel.
Probably like a little tea towel or something, right?
Yeah, that's the closest you can get to Angelique size.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Aurelia will kind of help her like dry herself off, and her hair probably puffs up a little bit. Just like
Mm.
it's very cute.
It is very cute. He does like get a little small like lipstick sticker on one cheek before he forcibly like shakes it away.
Aw,
He does like cute things. He likes cute things very much.
aw. Well, anyways, to answer your question, I guess must be. I mean, considering my quote unquote dad was a devil, she says very sarcastically, and he's the one who made me, and plus I stole a bunch of his power so that we could fight him off and all that. Guess it would have carried over to me for whatever I am. Plus,
Mm.
also Xavier did say you were you might be some sort of imp. Don't remind me. She kind of like huffs.
Mm. In any case, just being created by devils does not necessarily mean that you're some kind of demon yourself.
Yeah.
And, and sleeper like hops up to the rafters, like sitting down on it
Hmm.
to look at the two of them, and she's like, "But you do remind me a little of a nymph."
She kind of like pouts at that again.
Mm. In any case, you're welcome. Nardo returns.
Yeah. I think the girls are probably like find a place to sit on the couch.
Mm.
Yeah.
Me grabbing sleeper with one desperate hand. Do not go to sleep. Do not fucking go to sleep, my guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably like a little bit of awkward silence for a little bit, and maybe there's a point where like Sleeper's like, oh, they're probably gonna not talk to me anymore. Maybe I can go to sleep. But just as he's like
Yeah,
starting to like
there is
close
a
his eyes, I think Aurelia will say, pardon me for asking, but I am a little curious. How did you and Leo know each other? I mean, how did you meet? I guess.
he um he and his brother harassed me until I agreed to come home with them.
That they what?
He and his brother harassed me until I agreed to come home with them.
um, okay.
That is more or less what happened.
Geez, you're even worse at telling stories than I am. Angelique kind of snarks.
You actually see an offended look cross his face for a moment, and he's just I happen to be great, thanks. Telling stories, thanks. Just don't have the energy for it right now.
Yeah, I think Aurelia will kind of lightly bap Angelique on the shoulder and be like, Angelique, that's not very polite. Well, it's true. I mean, it's only he barely explained it all.
You see her just like huffs and goes like, well, um there was also another devil of sorts, and I'm not quite sure of how Inkwell categorizes these things. But regardless, he kind of like gives a shrug. They were searching for a threat. They thought I was the threat. They came to see me, realized that I wasn't the one causing havoc, and then dragged me to come fix it with them, and then dragged me home.
I think the girls are kind of kind of pondering this because of the one devil that they've met, this one definitely seems like a very unlike what devils like what they would know of devils. Like a heck of a lot more
Yeah,
passive.
weird,
Yeah,
isn't it?
very passive, not very prideful, certainly.
I'm sorry for laughing, but like, kid, you know why I laugh. I think.
Oh, of course, of course. I think
In any
Angelique, yeah.
case, like he kind of like pauses and like waits to see if they will ask him anything again, and if they're quiet for too long, he starts like winding down for sleep again.
Gosh. Yeah, I think Angelique will just kind of comment, so you just let them like order you around, or I guess drag you here, or whatever. Hmm.
It was it was easier than fighting them on it. They were very insistent.
Hmm.
If you I don't know how often you have interacted with the boys at this point, but interact with them long enough, and you will learn that they're quite the determined and persistent lot.
Hmm. I see.
He is leaving some details out of the story, but like, yeah, that's basically how their first meeting went.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, do you like living here?
Ooh. Mm. Dice, where are you?
Oh boy.
That is a 9 on the dice, but sleepers, if I'm not mistaken, his deception is a plus. Yep, that's what it is.
Oh gosh. What's her insight? Uh, well, I could technically match it if she got an at 20. Let's see here. Yeah, no, I
No,
figured. Nope.
he's just unreadable as he's just like I have no strong opinions about it. It's somewhere to sleep at least.
Hmm. Well, I mean, if you don't want to be here, you can leave, right? Or unless they're keeping you trapped here or something. I don't think they would do that, right? Or
There is silence for a little bit, and this isn't for an angst reason, kid. This is literally just sleeper like fucking like he still has that capacity for mischief. He is like depressed, so he still has like that capacity for mischief, and it is showing here as he like lets the silence draw on for a little bit, waiting for a little bit just to watch like them sweat a little. He's just like, no, I am free to go and leave as I please. You can wipe that look off your face now. It's just as I said, simply more effort to leave than it is to stay.
hmm
In
Yeah, I
any
think.
case,
Yeah, I think for a
you
moment.
first.
Oh yeah, no, I think for the moment the girls kind of go quiet, and Sleeper. I don't know if he would recognize this, like the way they're staring at each other. But for the audience, the girls are talking over their telepathic link for a moment, and what they're talking about to each other is they're kind of wondering if like this is some sort of ploy to get the boys' souls somehow because like of what they know of devils, like that seems to be like their main goal. But
Mm.
considering how passive he is, either this is a really really good act or he really isn't interested in their souls and he's just kind of he's telling the truth. He's like really is here just because the boys dragged him here. and he's just so passive he doesn't want to leave.
Yeah, and if they like, I think he would recognize they were having a telepathic conversation, considering he lives with the twins,
Oh
and
yeah.
also considering Sleeper himself had that ability in the past.
Hmm.
So he's just like, Penny for your thoughts.
Oh, it's nothing. Sorry, we were just thinking. I think Angelique kind of glares back up at him and just kind of says like, None of your business."
Mm, all right then. And God, he won't push.
Yeah,
He's too passive right now.
yeah.
And and he's just like, in any case, why did you even come here to meet Leonardo for?
Well, uh, see, Angelique, wanted to get a haircut and Leo offered, so, we figured, why not? And plus it would, give us a chance to, hang out for a little bit. And Angelique's kind of smirking at her. Yeah, you really wanted to hang out with Leo, didn't you? I think Aurelia kind of like lightly taps her on the side, is like, shush. And other girls are just kind of like giggling and like swatting at each other playfully.
Yeah, and Sleeper just watches this, and when they look at him now, it's
Hmm.
very small, but he does have like a brief like smile on his face, like, and it's weird because like like considering their experience of devils, like you'd
Yeah,
expect a smile from him to like be like a smirk or something soft satisfying or
yeah.
something like smug or like malicious or something like that, right?
Hmm. Yeah, something like the way the
But
prince would always smile at them.
yeah, but like when he like hears about them like talking about like Aurelia's like little crush on Leo and like
Hmm.
sees them like that at each other, like it's not something like that at all. It's very subdued, yes, but it's also like a lot more human than you'd expect to see from a devil.
Aww. Yeah, I think just for the sake of this, I think Aurelia happens to glance up at him and kind of stares, kind of surprised at like how soft the look on his face is, and I think she kind of like shyly says, like, "Oh, you have a very nice smile, Mr. Sleeper."
You see the tips of his ears go red, and like
Oh.
you see the tips of his ears go red and kind of like perk up a bit in embarrassment before he like slowly uncovers like the bottom half of his face. Like anyway,
Oh,
so you have a
sorry, I didn't mean to, Meanwhile, Angelique's just kind of like snickering to herself a little bit at this.
no, it's quite all right. So you have a crush on Leonardo?
You just hear you hear Aurelia just go like "Eep," and her, now she's covering her face, which is turning a very bright shade of red. Meanwhile, I think Angelique is just like cackling at this point, like I think she first probably like propped up on like a pillow on the couch, but now she's just like falling backwards off the pillow because she's laughing so hard.
Yeah, and I think Sleeper is just like, well, good luck then.
I think she kind of like mumbles through her hands, like, "Please don't tell him about this."
No, it's none of my business.
Thank you.
Besides, I have a feeling you have a hard enough time getting that one to keep your mouth shut. And he points at like actually.
She kind of pops up from like where she fell on the couch and is like, "What? Hey!" And Aurora's just kind of like, glancing away, just like, "Oh, you're not wrong." Ari, not you too.
Oh, seems like you're outnumbered.
Unbelievable, betrayed by my own warlock. What is this world coming to? She kind of like dramatically says.
We're alone.
Yep, that's right. I'm her patron. She kind of like stands up and kind of like crosses her arms, like you're like, yeah, that's right.
Mhm. I see. And like Sleeper kind of like pauses and taps his chin, like he he doesn't really know the spellcasting like classes or the world of Zatori very
Mm-hmm.
well because looks at his
Yeah.
sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's aware of like different kinds of magic and stuff, but the rules like work differently here and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
also like he's a demon, so like his quote unquote magic isn't even like proper like magic as humans would recognize it either.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just like, Warla, that's the spellcasting class, and Inkwell with patrons. So you lend her power.
Yep, that's right. She kind of again looking very satisfied with herself.
Yes, I see.
Yeah.
Like leans back and goes. "Hmm, I'm curious, how long ago did you start letting her your powers?
It's been a, at least a few months now, right? Yeah, that's when the whole fight happened, and we got away from the. They're kind of like muttering between each other, bit too quietly for Sleeper to hear that easily. But eventually they'll say like,
No,
yeah, yeah, it's been a few months.
you see, must have been an adjustment then. English powers tend to be difficult to adjust to.
Yeah, it definitely took a little while. I have to be kind of careful because well, some of the magic is a little destructive. Like there's this one spell with a spell that well, it can do a lot of damage if I'm not careful.
Yes, that is the case for most Hindish magic and powers, really.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
like, it
Yeah,
might dawn on the two of them that, yeah, sure, he would know this because this is a fucking fiend.
exactly. Yeah, admittedly, we've both kind of been trying to figure out how this whole pact works.
And he kind of tilts his head, like, what have you been to figure it out then?
Um, well, the thing is, Angelique's kind of new at the whole patron thing. Also, the power she got was, as we mentioned, kind of stolen.
Ah. And he kind of like leans forward. He is a little bit interested because like Sleeper has never in his life like made deals or taken patrons, but he has known people who have done that. He was friends with someone who had made it, who had like quote unquote a patron.
That is true.
Yeah, so he is just like he and I think Angelique and Aurelia might have caught him on one of his better mental health days because he's actually like offering instead of like immediately like going back to sleep kind of bit.
Yeah. Mm, yeah, I think there's probably like a brief moment where the girls kind of again exchange looks and are kind of like talking with the telepathy, and they're kind of going back and forth like, should we tell him? I'm like, well, Leo trusts him, so it's not like there's anything. He probably can't really do anything bad with this information because they can't really think of a way how he could. So after like a moment or two, they'll Angelique will pipe up like, well, it's a bit of a long story, but I don't mind telling you. In fact, it was a pretty clever plan on my part how I managed to pull it all off. I think she'll kind of like flap her wings up so that she's standing on the back of the couch, so she has a little bit more height.
Nonsense.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna do
Well,
this whole thing in character, but basically the girls begin to regale him with the tale of how they were able to defeat the Prince of Gourds by how they might make a brief mention of how he had basically probably didn't give all the details, but pretty much just mentioned that like he was going to take Aurelia's soul, and he kind of had them all backed into a corner. And but then Angelique got the bright idea to use the power that the prince had used to create her, form a contract with Aurelia and give her a fighting chance. And of course, at the time, they weren't sure if that plan would work, but miraculously, it did. And thus, Aurelia got her powers, and Angelique got a body of her own. She was able to leave the demiplane with, and with the help of their three friends, they were able to kick the Prince of Gordon's ass straight back into hell.
Sleeper like listens to all this, and assuming that she mentions like the party by name, he is mentally making a note to check on fucking Azumi later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I think the girls probably like they get more and more excited to go into the story, and they're talking about like yeah, and then Crystal came in with like this ray of frost and like froze him, and then and Professor was like using his bard powers like power everybody up, and then Azumi came in with a sword and like stabbed him through the wing.
Yes, Azumi does do that.
Yeah, he is pretty strong, isn't he?
Hmm. That, that is true.
Yeah, I think Angelique says, yeah, I wish I could have gotten the final blow, but honestly, he probably did it better than I could.
And like Sleeper kind of nods before going, and
Mm-hmm.
you all were quite lucky, weren't you? I'm quite still to be able to be the devil of that caliber.
Yeah, we were definitely lucky that we had our friends there too.
Even so, you are quite small to be able to def- and
Yeah,
he just kind of like,
yeah. I think the girls might roll insight on him, like when he's saying that specifically, because they're kind of curious to know like how he feels about like the fact that like they're bragging about taking down a powerful devil.
yeah, sure, roll insight.
All
Do I
right.
roll deception for this? He's not doing it intentionally, but I'm wondering like how well they would read him.
I mean, if you're not intentionally trying to hide something, because this is more like a kind of trying to get a vibe of him, like if he's being
Yeah,
truthful or like how he feels about like this, just kind of
yeah.
trying to get his vibe. So,
I'll set the DC at like 15, just because it's passive deception, like just without him
all
even
right,
rolling, is like fucking high. So 15 feels
makes
like a
sense.
good
Yeah.
like
Oh my
yeah,
god, that's
feels
a
like
natural 20.
oh my god, dear god, okay, not 20.
Yeah.
Everything up. Yeah, he's genuine. Like he's actually fucking genuine. He doesn't seem to have been rooting for the Prince of Guards at all throughout
Hmm.
your entire story. In fact,
Hmm.
he seems like like he said, he seems genuinely like impressed and like glad that you guys like came out of it safe, especially Azumi since he was Azumi personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the
Which is
girls would
like
have.
wild.
Yeah,
Which is wild considering he's a devil.
exactly. Yeah, the girls are definitely kind of surprised by this, like how genuinely impressed he seems to be.
He again, like he's really fucking hard to read, but you can
Yeah,
tell he is like even though like his expression hasn't changed much.
definitely.
In any case, he's just did you kill him or did he go back to his cell?
We're pretty sure he went back to his hell. He said something about how we'll see us again in a year, so it sounded like he's not gone for good.
No, they very rarely are to kill.
Yeah, so and then I think Angelique will say, yeah, so now we've just kind of been preparing for when he's gonna eventually come back.
That was a few months ago, you said?
Yeah, so we've at least got like, well, it's more than half a year at least. Probably like, well, this whole incident happened and like near the end of the year, so we'll probably have it that long at least.
That's a good thing, at least.
Yeah.
You're right to practice. He will likely immediately go targeting you and the others in your party the moment he's out.
Hmm. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Aurelia kind of like looks a little like kind of glances down a bit like worriedly like at the mention of this. I think
you'll
Angelique
be
will
fine. Oh,
yeah. I think Angelique
you
yeah,
first,
Angelique will
Angelique first.
yeah, no, you're good. Angelique will kind of like fly over and like pat her on the shoulder and be like, Don't worry, we're gonna be prepared for Irma, all right? I know, and I know we're doing all we can, but well, it's hard to not, be afraid of him. I mean, we've seen what he's
Mm,
capable of, so. Mm.
mm. And Sleeper kind of leans back a little and goes, "If it makes you feel better, just by your descriptions of him, I can say very much that he's not a very powerful devil.
Mm.
Yo, he's certainly that much, but well, he's more tough than he'd like you to believe."
Mm. You really think so? Angelique will say.
Yes, I believe so. Even with his title Prince of Cards, I would not be surprised if he's much younger than other demons.
Hmm. Well, I don't think he ever told me how old he was, but probably at least a couple centuries. I think you mentioned something about how like devils living for that long or something like that.
Oh, how many years? Like, you cut up as she was saying the
I
age.
don't know, like at least a couple centuries, probably.
And you hear Sleeper like bark a laugh. Like, ah, yes, that is very, very young. Now well, then I'm not surprised that he messed up that badly. You can take advantage of that if nothing else.
Ah, well, that's good news at least. Maybe we might have more
Hmm.
of a fighting chance then.
Yes. And like Sleeper like gives a little yawn, like showing his teeth, and he goes, "You will as he said, you will practice and you will grow stronger in that year." Well, he probably wouldn't, not nearly as much. He is an inexperienced, young, immature devil who's much weaker than he'd like you to believe. You'll be just fine. Especially with Azumi and the others.
Mm. And you can definitely see Aurelia's kind of worried expression melt into something a lot more kind of reassured and comforted. Like you've definitely managed to kind of like set her at ease for at least for now.
Hmm. Besides, most of the power he had over you, based on the story you told me, was because of the hold he had over yourself. He no longer has that hold on equal grounds instead of a disadvantage.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully we won't have to face him in another one of those demiplane places. Mm.
Mhm. And Sleeper kind of like gives like no, might be of such a place if he just try and drag.
Mm.
So,
Well, we do have the manor. That's a pretty safe place. Yeah. I have been trying to look into ways to like protect it from him getting in. There.
there's and Sleeper frowns. Let me roll Arcana, cause like he knows like magic like very well, but like Inkwell has like a different system and like and a different like labels and names for everything.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
All right, that is a 10, but I'll that is like a 10, but I feel like that's enough because Hallow is like a very like well-known spell.
Oh, absolutely. And I think with that, you might know that Hollow is a warlock spell, and so
Yeah,
Aurelia
so
could
he
theoretically learn it.
so he just like taps on his chin and like name I believe Inkwell calls it Hallow. It's a warlock spell, so you can learn it, and it can be used to keep unwanted creatures out. Fiends fall under this as well.
Really? What? Wow, that's amazing. And I think Angelique looks pretty excited about this too, and says, "Okay, that we need to work on figuring out how to cast that one next." Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
definitely.
Even if you can't cast it by your own power yet, I believe. He was about to say this world, but then he course corrected again and goes,
Hmm.
I believe this place also has scrolls that you can cast through. You would need to pay quite a lot of money to get them though.
Yeah, it might be easier to just try to learn it. I mean, well, money's pretty easy to come by, but when it comes to magical objects, I've kind of been trying to save up my own money for it. I don't want to always have to rely on my family's
That
fortune,
is
you know?
fair. Yeah. The good news is like out of character, I believe Hallow is a 5th level spell. So like
Yeah, and I checked.
I
Aurelia should be
think
able to learn it by your next level up. So
yeah,
yeah,
he's
exactly.
just like well, it's not that difficult to learn at least. I used to know how to cast it as well.
Hmm. Oh, you don't know how to cast it anymore?
Well,
Oh,
he kind of like pauses, considers how to think it, and goes, I'm a demon. I don't exactly have the same powers as a human. I would likely would not be able to teach you very well.
oh, you're.
That and
Hmm. I think she kind of tilts her head like, "Oh, you're not a devil? Oh, I guess I'm sorry for assuming then."
ah, no, I am. He kind of like pauses and just goes, I we use a different labeling system where I'm from.
Mm,
I would fall under both a demon and a devil still under that one, so I am still used to calling myself with both labels. You can actually roll an insight at like how he's saying this real quick.
sure, yeah. That's a natural
Nope,
one.
I'm sorry. I mean, I guess Angelique could roll if she has a different stat.
Yeah, let me see. Let me have her roll. Okay, that's her modifier isn't is actually worse, but let's see. Oh, it's a 6. It's technically higher.
Yeah, both of you don't notice. Out of character for everyone listening, and if you're curious, Kit,
Mm-hmm.
um, so when he was saying that, yeah, I like different system where I'm from, like I'm considered both a devil and a demon, so I'm still
Mm-hmm.
used to calling myself by both those labels. When he mentioned the devil part, like he had to course correct himself from saying the devil to a
Ah,
devil.
yeah. Fortunately, this just completely flies over both the girls' heads. I think Angelique will
Yeah,
just
they
just kind
haven't
of comment.
mentioned.
Yeah, I think Angelique will just comment. Huh. Well, admittedly, we don't really know the difference yet. Xavier said he might give us a lecture on that at some point. All I know now is
Yes,
that the prince would always get always really had a stick up his butt about whenever we call him a demon,
I
and then he
believe that I believe in this place demons are and let me roll history actually. Does
yeah,
he remember? That
he
is a nat one. I am giving him advantage of this. Like, come
yeah.
on.
This is like he should know this
All right, that's a 16. He's like, I believe
much better.
in this place. The distinction is that devils are more sapient, I suppose. They deal with contracts. They're more charming. They do deals, all the things, while demons tend to be more monstrous subordinates who only care about violence and are pretty straightforward. A devil will trick you, but they can be outwitted or reasoned with. A demon, as Seinquel labels them, tends to just be mindless in their
Mm. So they're kind of more like beasts or monsters, then something like that.
yes, exactly that.
Well, I guess that explains why he would always correct us whenever we got it wrong. Then
Mm.
again, by the end of the fight, he was certainly snarling like a beast. He was so mad. She kind of snickers at this.
Yes, but in any case, yes, I am under Ankle's labels. I suppose I count as a devil. And again, he has to course correct here. Like
Yeah,
he keeps having to course correct whenever he says it.
yeah.
Does the title mean something different to him? But he's just like, but under Ankle labels, I wouldn't fall under the category of demon.
Mm,
Hmm.
yeah.
And your little Angelique would count more as a devil than a demon as well.
Mm. I think Angelique will kind of comment. To be honest, I don't know if you really count him as much of a devil either. I mean, you seem way too nice, and I mean, compared to the one I know, at least.
Not a high bar to clear, no?
Yeah, that's true. But
It would
still,
do
it's
you.
yeah.
It would do you well to be more suspicious, though.
Hmm. Well, don't have to worry about that. I mean, just because you're, don't think just because you're even nice to us means that I don't completely trust you, because I don't. And she kind of like crosses her arms and pouts at you again, giving you that glare.
Good.
Uh, she's trying to be intimidating, but honestly, it's very adorable.
It is like there's a slight like Sleeper has to like physically like tamp down the urge to like push and like coo because like oh cute.
Yeah.
But in any case, it's just like good. Don't be careful.
Hmm. Uh, we will. Um, thank you for your concern and, well, your advice. It's actually been pretty nice talking to you. And sorry again for well, the way I kind of reacted when we first got here. It's not your fault, I promise you. It's
He waves it off like it's fine. Quite
yeah.
used to it. I'm actually relieved that someone in this house is suspicious of humans and devils.
Well, I mean, if they trust you enough to let you live here, it makes sense they wouldn't be too suspicious.
Hmm, I don't know about that. And inwardly, Super is just like, they dragged me home literally on our second meeting. I don't know if that's like them like being smart about it or them just being that stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it worked, didn't it?
It worked, but like it worked. Like Sleeper isn't in any case, you would likely be able to cast Hallow very soon. I will note, however, that the spell does not discriminate what creature type you set as not being able to enter your mansion will not be able to enter your mansion, whether it be a friend or a foe. So you might want to test it out with Angelique first.
All right, that is true. Well, we can play around with it, and at the very least, maybe we can just set it up at certain points or something like that. We'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
out of character, I think Angelique will be fine since I don't think she's mechanically a fiend.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I'm gonna double check it because I actually did check this specifically because Xavier's a tiefling, but fortunately tieflings count as humanoid, so he'd be fine as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Sleeper would actually not be able to enter dimension because he's like mechanically a fiend.
yeah,
It's fine. That's not going to be an issue for a while, considering.
yeah. Hmm.
And ways of specifically, and it's just like, and make sure to practice as well.
Well, I definitely will then. And she kind of like nods and kind of smiles.
Yeah, out of character, I wish like God, I wish he had a label because like mechanically the class I'm playing him as, like sheet wise, he's a warlock. Fiend
Ah,
warlock. So like
yeah.
literally out of everyone who can like help her like get a better handle of things.
I mean, plus like
Unfortunately,
she is technically a fiend warlock, and he is a fiend, so
yeah, unfortunate he's too depressed to bring that up.
yeah. I mean, they know that he's
Yeah.
like, well, similar to a devil at least.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he sure is similar to a devil.
yeah, the ones they know of at
It's
least.
fine. Yep.
Yep. Hmm.
It's fine. In any case, like he will like kind of lean back like to like go back to like napping unless one of them has like something else they want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at this point, like the conversation kind of peters off, and the girls will just kind of like talk amongst themselves, probably telepathically, until Leo shows up. And I think we can probably
Hmm.
end the FPS there.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yay! They had a pretty nice conversation. But thank you so much, Vamp, for being here for this. This was a very fun time. Yeah, thank you to our listening audience and to those listening in the future. We wish you a very good time zone. Bye, everybody.